And just like how the Indian cricket team are on.
I have to ask you one thing. Like, it's just been about 4.5 months here for me. Didn't you teach him anything?
No,
Huh? It's your fault. I'm telling
No,
you.
he
It
taught
is
me.
your
No,
fault.
I am going to defend him here.
It's his fault also.
No. I can tell you five things both of them have taught me individually.
I can only
Five.
teach the individual to go to the well.
Ooh.
I cannot teach him to how to drink the water. Okay, that is the way I look at it.
But Gulati sir, being the right student, I can count five things both of them have taught me.
Okay.
Five each. Should
We'll
I?
do a video on that some other day.
Separate video.
Yeah.
Special.
Yeah.
Special.
POD.
But okay, five things. But this was a 5-star performance.
Oh, that's why I
Five-star
said five.
performance, and on top of that, Hyderabad is totally engulfed in smoke. So many crackers after
Did
India.
India
achieved-
win the World Cup?
India achieved a clean
Yeah,
sweep.
they
my
did
friend.
win the World
A
Cup
tour
also.
wash.
A tour wash. 2-0 in the test matches. Chennai, you won comfortably. Kanpur, you registered a memorable win there with only 2.5 days of play. You won the first T20I in Gwalior, second T20I in Delhi, third T20I, 133 runs, and that is why 5-star performance indeed, because it's final across formats. And today was a no contest. Honestly, when you make 297, which team is ever in the contest? So Bangladesh 164, you are the closest. I thought they would fold up even more meekly, but Tauhid Hridoy 63 or 42 only delayed the inevitable.
No, it would have been a shame had they not got to 150 plus on this kind of a track.
But again, look at it,
Yeah.
164, scoring at 8 when India were scoring at well over 14 and over. That is the gulf, that is the massive gap. So 10, perfect 10 clean sweeps for India when you look
Out
at
of
it.
34, if I'm not wrong.
Yes, 34. So 10, they have opened the gap up now, and they continue to be the dominant side in T20 cricket, because a positive win-loss ratio against every nation, a series win in every nation, and on top of that, sweeps now at 10. Oof. Who can stop this Indian cricket team?
I think I really have to give credit to Row Ball here.
Row ball.
Because, let's just go back to the chat that Rohit Sharma had with the teammates when India lost to, or India were hammered by England in that 2022 semi-final in Adelaide, that we have to change the way T20 cricket is played. We really have to change the manner in which we go about our game. And since then, it's been up, it's basically the graph has gone up for India only.
I think so after July, the graph continued to go up and it didn't stop because when you, no, July, 2023 July.
Oh.
Because when you lost that series to the West Indies 2-3 in
Yeah.
Hardik Pandya's captaincy.
Yeah.
After that, you played the T20Is versus Australia. You won that. You won against South Africa. You won against Afghanistan. You won the T20 World Cup. You won against Sri Lanka. You now won against Bangladesh. So basically, the slope, it's just going up at this point, and I don't see which side can stop that slope. Doesn't look like Australia, because they seem to be going behind the curve now. I don't see them doing well in Indian
T20
conditions.
cricket.
They seem to be, this generation, if I have to look at it, is kind of, it's fading away.
But
With Australia,
they'll still give
that they will sort of rise up the ranks, and they have that quality. And you have, see, again, we're talking about Jake Fraser-McGurk already as a very big star in the few times to come.
You
He
got
is
an
yet to
Ellis, you
cement-
got
yeah,
a-
exactly. Same for South Africa. I feel you have.
There's also
Edward
this man who
Brevis.
likes hanging his helmet on the helmet.
Yeah,
Travis.
on the back.
On the bat. Yeah.
Travis
Chris
Head.
Gale. Chris Gale likes celebration.
Yeah,
Let's not forget him.
but it's Travis Head at this point.
And we
So-
should never undermine Australia, especially after what they did in
Sure,
23.
sure. But then, see, in T20Is, barring 2021 and 2010, they have never managed to set the stage on fire. In this
Are
format.
these deferred visuals or it's still ongoing?
No, I think it's deferred visuals. Because it's been going on and on and on. Uppal is covered in smog, like how Delhi will be in the next 2
I was
days.
about to come to that.
Already, you feel as if it's choking you when you go out because of all the.
Not really as of now.
Not just
really.
go out, it's terrible.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's starting. The silly season is just about to begin now, and that's the way you look at it. But the key takeaway from this game is Sanju Samson. 111 of 47 balls. He was given the long rope. He, in fact, always has been pigeonholed. Like, okay, T20 year, ODI year, T20. Okay. Now we are looking at the backdrop, and this might dominate our conversation today because the match there is nothing much because Bangladesh hardly put up a fight. Broader context when I have to look at it, how far is Sanju Samson ahead of the pack?
Yeah.
When you compare it with the other wicket keepers, we have got a sample size of five wicket keepers.
But I just want, let's just keep it down to the two now, because now Sanju Samson anyways has cemented his place. There's nobody else very near to breaking it to the Indian team as of now.
We have seen Sanju's kismat how it's been. There are other contenders who come up. Okay.
No, I thought you were going to ask how far is he from making it to the 11.
No. I am talking about 5 wicket keepers and how long a rope they might get or not get. Okay. Rishabh Pant. Already most of our family members were stating 76 T20Is has had very little impact. Sanju at least has got 100.
Would you get in a Sanju in place of Rishabh?
That is Sanju. Okay. Other 3 that are there on the fringes. Dhruv Jurel, Ishan Kishan, Jitesh Sharma. Okay. Now, if we shortlist it even more, it's only 2. It's a 2-horse race or a 3-horse race.
Okay.
Ishan, Sanju, Rishabh.
Don't you think that Dhruv Jurel is ahead of Ishan Kishan as of now?
I don't know because look, this is where we'll get into the nuances. Who is ahead at this point in time? Because Rishabh Pant and Sanju Samson are both World Cup winning players. Okay. Sanju didn't play in all the games. Pant played in all. Difference between Sanju and Pant. Sanju predominantly and both Pant, I may say that there's not much of a difference. They have both been shuffled up and down the order. Here he got while scoring a century while opening. Pant got chances but has never done well. In the T20I format, he didn't do well. He had one major knock of impact, which was against Pakistan. Somehow survived, but yet scored a crucial knock to get India to victory there. Now, after this series, with Pant now not playing even the 4 T20Is versus South Africa, his next assignment is potentially England. 5 T20Is and 3 ODIs. What is India's wicket-keeping position looking like? If you have to look at 2026 at this point, who wants to start? Anybody?
According to me, I think Rishabh Pant still remains the front runner. Again, we have to remember this, that as viewers, the memory is so short that just a few hours back, we were discussing how long a rope will Sanju Samson get, or if he's even going to be in the side for the South Africa series or not, or will it be time for a Dhruv Jurel to come into the shortest format with Jitesh Sharma or Ishan Kishan, whatever it is. We were talking about chances of Ishan Kishan coming back. This 1 century definitely closes all those debates, and Sanju Samson in that sense has definitely assured his place in the T20I side, no doubts about it. But in no situation am I ready to get in a Sanju Samson in place of Rishabh Pant when we look at the larger perspective. The only reason is that I am going to back, the team has been backing Rishabh Pant, the kind of match winner he is. I know I'm mixing formats over here, be it T20 or be it Test cricket, ODI with T20I cricket, but I think I'm okay with doing that, because I feel if that player can have that sort of an impact in ODI and Test cricket, he's a match winner for India in all senses, and everyone know this. That's the reason why he's in the team. That's the reason why, even not after having a tremendous continuous run in T20 cricket, he has gotten this longer rope. I think it's again just a couple of one innings from Rishabh Pant. He's somebody who can be that match winner for you. He has shown that you talked about this Pakistan game. I take you back to the 21 Pakistan game also, the 2021 World Cup Pakistan game where Rishabh Pant and Virat Kohli were the 2 people who were standing there. Now it's a new position for him. He has shown that he can play with that impact. IPL also it's not been up to his mark, but again, at the larger perspective, Rishabh Pant at 80-90% versus Sanju Samson at 100%, the larger impact will be of Rishabh Pant. Just seeing the kind of player he has, just the mindset he has. So nothing to take away from Sanju Samson. It's just hard that he wasn't. It's for him also to be blamed, because Rishabh Pant wasn't there for a year and a half. Close to 2 years in the side. He should have cemented his place then. Now that Rishabh Pant is back, he has been the first choice wicketkeeper. Now the century has come. Definitely the second choice wicketkeeper, but not the first choice wicketkeeper for me moving ahead.
Okay. For me also, Samson remains as a second choice keeper. You would want to start with Pant. You have given Pant a new lease of life by having him at number 3 in the T20 format, something that wasn't really the case in his initial years as far as the T20I format goes. But then for me, Samson is not really fighting with Pant for a place in India's 11, in T20 11. He's actually fighting for a place with the likes of Yashasvi Jaiswal and Shubman Gill. That's the point here, because any which ways, let's assume that, if one fine day Sanju Samson's form dips and you would want to, take the route of having Ishan Kishan back or maybe a Dhruv Jurel into the T20I setup as a backup for Pant. With Samson, the point is that he is a batter first then a keeper, not a keeper first then a batter. So in case of him, the kind of clarity that a certain Rohit Sharma and that management gave him, that we are looking at you as an opener for the T20 World Cup, and so has been the case ever since the T20 World Cup. The same management has continued here. So for me, Samson is actually fighting for a place or fighting for a spot with Jaiswal and Gill rather than for the backup keeper slot here, because any which ways you would know that if there is a realistic chance of having Sanju Samson in your T20I 11, it's at the top of the order, because any which ways you have plenty options in the middle order.
I think Gulati summed it up very well, that I don't think there's anyone coming close to Rishabh Pant. That place is solidified, it's untouchable, and I don't see it changing till 2026. Rishabh Pant, the fact that he had an okay sort of an IPL, and even then there was enough for you to rope him in and designate him as the number 3 in the T20 World Cup as well. His returns were rather mixed, I would say, barring that Pakistan match in which he scored 42 odd. I don't remember him doing justice to his position. I think I was expecting more from him. Again, the first ball or the second ball duck as well in the final, trying to sweep the ball, made him look foolish, that shot. So I think Rishabh Pant is untouchable. However, I must say that this is good that you have a Sanju Samson score a century in the correct format. The last century that Sanju Samson scored was in a format that made no difference to a Pant.
Yeah.
However, what this does is this puts pressure on a Rishabh Pant as well.
Yeah.
I am not of the belief that, yes, while players feeling safe about themselves in the team is one thing. However, it's good to have healthy competition. And if there is a gulf, let's say, if you say that there's nobody coming close to a Rishabh Pant, I don't think it bodes well for the Indian team. Now, what this does is it puts pressure on Rishabh Pant as well, that whenever he is then playing for the Indian team, he needs to register a big total as well, because for a significant amount of time now, Sanju Samson didn't do justice. What he's done is he's put in a performance now which will be in the minds for a sizable time now, for a reasonable amount of time going forward. This will be a performance in everyone's mind. With Rishabh Pant, though, you look at his numbers in T20 internationals for somebody who's played in excess of 50 T20, 76 as you say. His average is under 35, I believe. 25. It was 28 last I recall.
But again
it dipped further. So it's these are alarming numbers. These are not good numbers, let's be honest. And the whole narrative about someone being an X factor or a game changer, at some point it needs to reflect on the stats as well. When you look at the stats of a batter, at some point I cannot always just say that X factor. Surya Kumar Yadav is that X factor and it reflects in his numbers.
Yep.
Jasprit Bumrah is an X factor and it reflects in his numbers.
Hardik Pandya.
You say the same for a Rishabh Pant, then it must at some point reflect in his numbers as well. So what this does is this puts some sort of performance pressure on Rishabh Pant as well, that listen, I can't be taking my place for granted. I need to, yes, I should be happy that the captain, the coach, the management has faith in me. I've been given that backing. However, I need to ensure that I am backing it up with good performance as well. I need to be giving my team and the fans and this management dividends for the faith that they have shown in me. So this is how I look at the present situation.
Okay. One point
before you make it right, Pawan, I would like you to open Rishabh Pant and Sanju Samson's Don Bradman profile.
No, I was just taking that only.
Wait. I have a point to make in that, okay?
Great.
So,
Sanju Samson averages 19 only.
No, but wait, I want to look at the deeper picture in that, okay? The numbers will just give you a superficial thing of what is there outside. And Sanju Samson, go to T20I and go down. Go to T20I.
Just highlight that.
Go down. Even further down. T20I, there, that thing. Go down.
You want to go that deep?
Yes, go down there, T20I, and click on the batting career summary. Okay. Do the same for even Sanju Samson. Okay.
Do you want to go that?
I want to go that. Yeah, Gulati can make your point.
My point is that I think for the first time also you have to give credit to the selectors also.
Yeah.
Because for the first time in his 10 years of international career, now almost 9 years because Sanju Samson made his debut in 2015, this is the first time that he has been a consistent part of the Indian team now. Any format for that matter. Obviously test format he hasn't really made it to the squad also.
I'd say there's still more room. The way that he was treated last year, in fact, doesn't sort of, back what you're saying right now. I still feel he deserves more. He was there was a lot of toying around with him last year as well.
It has always been the case that he hasn't really been given that consistent run, but then I have to credit the selectors this time. Maybe I think there has been some message that has gone from Gautam Gambhir or maybe your previous coach also Rahul Dravid, that you need to stick with Sanju Samson for a while and then see how things are progressing, because you can drop him at any time. That's not going to be a problem at all. Yeah. But then now you have persisted with him, because see, heading into this series also there was pressure on him because he registered 2 ducks against Sri Lanka in the previous T20 series. So obviously he wasn't guaranteed a place, but now what he's done is that what he did in the opening ODI, scored a quick fire 20-25 odd and now a century, he sealed his place at least for the next couple of series. So I think that's what it does, that you need to give that consistent run, and I think he's been given that for the first time.
No, I have very different. I know we talk about this many times that when it's the T20 year, he's playing in the ODI format, he's playing T20 cricket. I look at this in a very, very different way. I feel the same way like I used to talk about for KL Rahul also. There are some players in which the selectors and the team management in general see something very different, and they want them to be treated differently. They themselves also treat them differently. They want them to be around the system.
True.
A player like Sanju Samson, who made his international debut when he was 19, now he's closing in on that 30 mark as far as age is concerned. So if a player in a span of such a long international span is not able to solidify his space and is still somewhere around the Indian team on some format or the other, I look at it as a positive. He wasn't given opportunities in the right format as per the World Cup is concerned because he did not make the cut. Okay. He was still kept in the other format because in the other format, when it was the T20 World Cup year, your senior players weren't playing the T20 cricket. So he was given a chance there as a whatever you can call it, as a second fiddle team, as a B team or whatever. Same for the case when it was the year of T20 World Cup. This time he was kept on the basis of the form he showed in T20 cricket. In the IPL he was kept. You did not have any other wicketkeeper. Definitely, that's great. You even used him as a backup opener. That I understand all of that. This 100 definitely changes a lot of things. But I'm not going to blame the circumstances in that sense. I feel Sanju is equally to be blamed for the situation he has ended up in most of the times.
Okay, so why I wanted to dig up...
I wanted to have a look at the numbers.
I wanted to dig up the numbers for one simple reason, okay? The situation of Pant, where he's played in his career in the T20I format, forget T20 IPL and all, forget that. And where Sanju Samson's batting, okay? Current average of Rishabh Pant is 23.25 and 127 strike rate, okay? Go to the other tab, Pawan. And if you look at it, Sanju Samson 22.84, 144.52, okay?
Massive difference in the strike rate.
It is a massive difference, right? But go down even further, okay? Go down further.
How much was the strike rate for Pant?
Pant was 127. Okay.
So Sanju's quicker.
Sanju's quicker, but then go down again. Go down, even further. Okay? All the way down. Yeah, okay, see. Now, where has Sanju Samson batted? This is Sanju Samson's statistics, okay?
Yeah.
First position, it was just his 5th innings, okay? He bats season opener. Primarily, if you look at it, even in IPL, there is a trend that he's 1, 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Siddharth, but last 2 seasons now I think it's established because Butler and Yashasvi have batted or have opened last 2 seasons.
Number 3. Yeah.
There was a story 3 years back.
Okay. Now look at position number 4, where he's batted most of his career.
Yeah.
Okay. Position 4 and position 5.
That's what, 11 matches?
Total of 16 matches that he's played in.
4 and 5.
4 and 5.
4 and 5 with a higher score of 58 and roughly a strike rate of 130.
And
130.
that 58 also came this year only against Zimbabwe.
Zimbabwe. Okay.
Yes.
So, number 4 and number 5. Now, why I have to highlight this particular position? Go to the other tab and go right down, Pawan, in there. Okay. Go right down to that. Okay. You see where has Rishabh Pant batted most of his career?
Number 4.
Number 4 and number 5.
Yeah, it's actually 3-4-5. True.
3, 4, 5.
3-4-5.
He's never gotten to open that much. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
5 innings, 5 matches. Okay.
Same as Sanju.
But Sanju has gotten 100. Okay. But look at what has happened. You see the general consensus. Sanju and Rishabh both kind of struggle at number 4 and number 5.
Look at the strike rates. Very, very similar.
Very similar in that same position.
And you know what these numbers explain? With that difference of 128, 144 and career strike rate that we are seeing, Sanju gets that advantage because of the times that he's opened.
Yeah.
He is very good as an opener. If you look at the numbers, he's striking at 190. Did I see rightly?
Yeah, just go to that.
192,
192.91.
193.
Okay.
Yeah.
Of course, today really would have changed things a lot because today he smacked at over 200.
Yeah, but see,
And
it's
the
already.
runs also see 245 runs he has gotten. 111 is just
It's
today.
just in this
So
game.
you have to keep that in mind also.
Sure, but then see, it's improved. Pant, looking at every position. Now I urge people to look at number 4, number 5 and number 6. Okay. Everywhere they have struggled.
Both.
Both Pant and Sanju have struggled at number 4 and number 5. Now, depending upon what Gulati, I want to pick on Gulati's point here. If he is touted as an opener and not as a backup
You're talking
keeper.
about Samson here.
Samson,
Okay.
Samson.
Okay.
The only way Sanju and Rishabh can play together is if Sanju opens with Yashasvi.
Which means you are leaving your designated vice captain out.
No, Shubman could bat at 3.
Where will Rishabh bat
Where
then?
does Rishabh Pant bat then?
Okay, maybe say suppose Surya bats at 4. Okay, suppose let's try.
No, but
and
who are
make
you
it-
leaving out at the top 3 then? He's right.
Abhishek Sharma, I am not picking. If
Yashasvi is there.
No. Yashasvi is there.
Shubman opens with him, na?
I don't know. See, why not Sanju open?
He's just giving his opinion. Okay.
No, this is hypothetical
Then why
situation.
in the openers pecking order I would keep Abhishek ahead of Sanju then.
No, again, see, if Abhishek doesn't
And
have
openers.
he's not had a good series here.
This
okay?
series is not had good, na?
If he continues in that same vein, okay, Abhishek's just got 100. Didn't do well in the remainder of the Zimbabwe series also.
But again, he has a very smaller sample size as compared to Sanju.
I am again saying for 2026, okay. Supposing Abhishek is just not able to get that consistency. Sanju is able
He
to
gets
do it.
those chances, but he isn't able to convert them.
Convert, okay.
That's what he's
That
saying.
is the hypothetical premise I want to present. at this
Okay.
point. Yashasvi Sanju, Shubman, Surya, Pant, one of Hardik / Nitish, Aksar. Okay, that's 7. I got 7 batters now. 8, 9, 10 are my bowlers in that sense. 8,
Or
9.
maybe if you want to have an all-rounder at 8.
All-rounder
But this
at
is
8.
where I have a question. Why are you shifting Pant down the order? Because any which ways, if you have Pant at number 5 or number 6 in the middle of, in the T20I format, you're actually, ruining his chances of performing well in the format.
So this is where I want to highlight our.
There you should ideally have somebody you didn't have in the T20 World Cup. Rinku.
Now, Shubman isn't here. Rinku could be your number 5. Pant could be 6 or 7.
You actually
in that
kept
sense.
Rinku out of that 11.
So
Just to accommodate Sanju.
just to accommodate a Sanju.
Okay, that you
Now
can't do,
this
Sid
is
Rishabh.
where I want to highlight the fact that why did Pant bat at 3? Because there was no Shubman. In that 2024 T20 World Cup, he had to make that adjustment because there was no Shubman game.
No. Shubman, anyways, if Shubman would have been in
But
that side, he would have
Siddharth,
been
that
the
was
opener instead of
a
Yashasvi.
conscious thing of not having Shubman in the 15.
It was between Yashasvi and
Because he was not
Shubman.
in form.
And you need he was not in form,
Was
you
not
need a
in-
back.
And you also needed a left-right combination.
Left-right
Just as a-
combinations.
add a bigger
Okay.
picture.
Now, if Pant is there, okay, Pant, Rinku are anyway there. So number 8, I've got Aksar all the way down there. Number 8, okay.
Okay.
Pant, Rinku, Hardik can swap between 5, 6, 7. Okay. At this point in time, I would like to point out that whoever is batting for Sanju Samson, okay, has to understand that he scored most of his runs at the top.
True.
Pant, in those 76 T20Is, he's had only 5 matches batting as an opener. number 2. If you look at his second position, he's batted only number 5.
Okay.
5 matches, so 71 times he's not batted in the top order when you look at it, opening. Sanju at this point has already gotten 8. He's gotten 8 chances opening. Now, 33-76. Yes, Pant has had a longer rope because of performances that he's had in test match cricket. Let us be very honest about it. Pant,
And ODIs.
ODI only a certain series. He's not been consistent in every series that he's played.
True.
The gap between Pant and the rest of the keepers in test match cricket is huge. That can't be surmounted, okay? He's your ultimate match winner in tests. ODIs, the gap reduces a bit, but still a lot of work left to be done. In T20Is, understand the position. If you want to pick a Sanju Samson, if you want to pick a Rishabh Pant, understand the position where they're going to play. By hitting a century at the top of the order, his chances and his complications have only increased. Because I am not going to pick him primarily as an opener.
No, that you're talking about if he needs to break it into the 11.
Yeah.
No, but I feel that the team is looking at him for 2026 as the same role that he played in the 24 World Cup also.
Could be.
It's the same role
Because
he could either see again.
The situation could very well be the same.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Very well be
It
the
will be
same
the
situation where Yashashvi is guaranteed, let's say.
With Shubman.
One between Yashashvi and Abhishek. Let's be honest, only one of them plays, both cannot. And then it doesn't make sense that you just have an additional batter in the 15, which is why you didn't have a Gill this time as well.
Yeah.
What do you do this time? You had a Sanju Samson
Shivam
who
Dube,
becomes
Shivam Dube in that slot.
who becomes your wicketkeeper batter. Who is your backup keeper and is your backup opener as well. That was the thinking.
One person was to be picked between Dube, Gill and Rinku. And it was Dube who was picked. And it wasn't Gill. And I think for 26 also it's going to be same because Sanju again, right now he has opened in this series. Yeah, definitely he is that backup opener. But again we have to remember that 1, 2, 3 is almost in T20 cricket going to be looked at the same way. So if Rishabh Pant is injured or if he's not the first choice, then Sanju can be the like for like. He can be the keeper batter at number 3, the role that Rishabh plays. I think it's going to be the same for 2026 until and unless again Rishabh Pant has a very bad run in T20 cricket. Sanju has a great IPL. Then maybe it would be Sanju Samson ahead of Rishabh Pant.
But going by what Siddharth was saying, Siddharth, if I understand you correctly, you're saying basically it compounds problems for him because there's already a bigger queue as far as the openers are concerned.
Yes.
That's what you're saying.
Yes.
And in that situation that Shashwat is saying, I wonder if that helps the Indian team because numbers suggest that Sanju, the best out of him comes when he's opening. If a Pant is unavailable, then he bats in the middle order where he doesn't have good numbers.
No, 3, but 3, the most of the success he has got in IPL is at number 3 only, na?
But IPL
so I
is
just
different.
take that. No, I'm just taking that he can play at number 3. I'm not counting number 3
He
as middle
can.
order.
Again, with this Indian team that he's played, look at that. Between 3, 4, 5.
No. This is Rishabh Pant. Go to Sanju. Yeah. Look at 3, 4, 5. This is where I have to highlight a major issue.
3 again, he has played very less at number 3.
Again, but then why? Because there was somebody else at number 3 for the majority of the time that he wasn't, isn't it?
Week 18.
He only promoted himself to open in the 2024 T20 World
If
Cup.
Siddharth is saying that, obviously he has said this thing, that if Sanju Samson scoring a century at the top today has actually compounded problems for him. I think it's still not that big a problem in comparison to Sanju failing today and then not having a place in the squad.
Good headache.
Of course, it's a good headache that is there. But then how will he get a consistent run now? Because see, most of your senior and sure shot players are not playing.
See, he's
got one more series now.
He is not going to get a consistent run because the point, I'm 110% sure about it. Obviously, it's not really out in the media, but that is something would have happened with him. He would have been communicated about it. That listen, we are looking at you from the in that spot only, because when Jaiswal and Gill are back, they are going to be our first choice openers.
See, your good headache is only going to be amplified after August 2025. Till then, you are not playing too many T20Is. Okay? 4 versus South Africa now, 5 versus England. That's 9. After that, it's T20 World Cup year, it's the Champions Trophy in February. After that, you've got IPL, you've got World Test Championship. Then you've got 5 tests versus England. After that, you're going to gear up for T20 World Cup mode. Okay? Which gives you roughly a year and a half at max. So, looking at it now, with every series that's going to happen, Sanju is going to get one more series because November 8th is the
He's
South
most
Africa
likely
versus India
open there
series.
too.
He will be, because I don't see anybody else stepping up in there. Our regulars are all going to go to Australia.
Exactly.
So that's why he gets one more opportunity. Sanju Samson. One hopes that he can maintain that consistency. You know what is the case with Sanju? Scores one good knock, but then has a big taper down. He scored 77 versus Ireland, if I'm not mistaken. He scored it quickly also. But what happened after that? Even in the West Indies, he struggled in that after that series that they played in 2023. He struggled there also. Sanju Samson now, if the noise has to become louder for justice for Sanju Samson and they want to get him into the Indian team, he has to be consistent from this point in time. Pant's role is different. I am very sorry to put out this fact in front of the Indian public who's mob lynching for justice for Sanju, but Pant's role is different. He can't be
Mob
asked.
lynching.
Mob lynching. They will always justice for Sanju. Justice for
I don't
Sanju.
think the role is too different. I think it's about like for like only for Pant and Sanju.
See, Sanju was. Can you count Pant as the backup opener?
No, you can't count Pant. That's the
Sanju
you
can
don't
do that.
Yeah, Sanju can. That's what I'm saying.
Sanju can do both.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. That's a blessing in disguise for Sanju in that sense, because as soon as an opener is out of form, it's going to be Sanju who's going to take that place in the 11, in the 15. And why is that going to happen? Because you're not going to carry an extra backup opener. Maybe if we just go as per pecking order for openers, maybe if there was an Abhishek Sharma also in the squad, or Shubman Gill for that matter in the World Cup, as soon as an opener would have been out of form, it would have been that backup opener taking that place, not Sanju Samson. Because as far as the pecking order for openers is concerned, that's totally a different list altogether, right? So that's a blessing in disguise, because as soon as Yashasvi or Shubman doesn't do well, Sanju can take that place. As soon as Rishabh Pant is injured or he's not doing well, Sanju can take that place as well. So I don't think what you say. I think it's going to be more or less the same role. The role he's been given before the World Cup, it's going to stay till 2026.
Exactly my point also, that you are looking at him more as a backup opener than you are looking at him as a backup keeper. Because Sanju, as I said at the start of this conversation,
Both things equally, I feel.
I feel that it's more of a batter first than it's a keeper. Because
Because you're using Rishabh Pant's places.
Yeah,
all,
absolutely.
All but certain.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's also.
This is all we have hypothetically assumed. Abhishek Sharma doesn't perform. Okay.
Yeah.
This is if
No, but
all that debate will be rested if Abhishek Sharma performs well.
No, but then again, I feel still Abhishek, it's going to be really tough for Abhishek Sharma, because again, I'm just looking at the 15-member squad. To accommodate an Abhishek Sharma, you'll have to let go of a all-rounder, or you'll have to go a bowler shot. So you would not want to do that. You would happily go with a Sanju, because he is filling those two spots for you, the backup opener also and the backup wicketkeeper also. So you wouldn't actually need that.
So again, we are all going after one major knock. But if you have to really ensure Sanju Samson gets undroppable, that he makes himself so good that we don't have any doubts about it, he has to be consistent. 2 matches of drought in this series, now he's responded with 111 or 47, all of which were clean hitting, and continues his great record in Hyderabad. 66 average.
Yeah.
At over 170, 180 strike rate, if I'm not mistaken. He really loves playing in Hyderabad. So that is why Sanju Samson chose the moment to ensure that yes, it's there. So the Pant versus Sanju debate will now only gain momentum in the coming months. It will not gain that much of traction until August 2025. Because now you're only geared up for...
So he's going to be a certainty till then.
He is going to be a certainty for the South Africa series at least. I'm going series by series. Pant will be a certainty only in the test matches. Sanju will be a certainty.
You'll mostly have the same squad, more or less the same.
Roughly.
Jitesh, I just don't see Jitesh being the second wicket keeper.
Who comes in?
Dhruv Jurel,
No,
maybe.
Dhruv Jurel will be with the test squad, na? He will be preparing for the Border Gavaskar trophy. So it is going to
So
be Jitesh
same,
Sharma.
more or less same.
Maybe it could be the only guy who misses out in this entire debate then is Ishan Kishan. Because Ishan Kishan, his chances are taking a big hit. Now everybody is performing at this point. So that is why it's a huge thing that we are looking at. So yeah, the only key takeaway from this is Sanju now is firmly entrenched in the debate. Now you can't ignore him.
True.
And as far as others are concerned, it's been a good series for Mayank Yadav. I think Mayank
Decent.
Yadav Chakravarti did well. Okay. So that is why I think this series has had a lot of good takeaways, especially if you're a Sanju fan.
Mayank is going for the BJT also, so Mayank Yadav all in all.
Are you sure about that?
See,
Not as a plip in the squad, but yeah, he's definitely
one of
going.
your, travelling reserves for the New Zealand
Travelling
series. So,
reserve.
I think
But
that's
again, how much first class cricket has Mayank Yadav played?
No, I don't think so. It's about the first class cricket with Mayank Yadav.
If you are not doing that, you are risking that same mistake that you have been doing for years. Suddenly you have not played that much of first class, you immediately fast track him for BGT.
that would not be a good idea.
It is
No,
suicidal.
not a bad idea.
It's a suicidal thing.
But as much as I say this, see, I want to see Mayank Yadav in that BGT squad, but there's a good chance that it might not happen. But then I'm telling you, India for that 5-match series are definitely short on pace bowling reserves.
I'm again
That's
saying
a big problem.
And Mayank Yadav, see again, I do understand what you're trying to say. Your same mistake, you'll get him raw. But somebody like a Mayank Yadav, I'm okay with if you get in a raw Mayank Yadav because of the pace he generates. I'm okay to throw him in the BGT directly. That's fine.
he has to be first class match fit.
That's the point.
How many times has he played? How many matches has he played first class cricket?
That I think he would be, na.
No, how? See, if he's going to go to South Africa, he's not playing that much of the Ranji. I don't know whether after this will he go for the 18th matches.
No, he's not.
So, again, he's in the travelling reserves for. Is he in the travelling reserves for the New Zealand series?
He is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which means that he might not even play in Ranji.
He
He
might.
might not, he's not, na then, because his name is also not there in the first two squad.
Yeah.
He's not in the. But again, those last minute changes, it can be done.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
Without any first class game time, how can you directly get him for the BGT?
No,
It's
because-
something beyond.
No, because of the raw, the amount.
Why do you want to let him go the Umran Malik way?
No, Sidvi sir, I'll tell you the difference between Umran Malik and Mayank Yadav here. It is consistency. I think the pace and the buzz that came around Umran Malik at that point, it did not help him in any way because he sort of tried to run after the pace.
Umran
What
Malik-
this series has shown me as far as Mayank Yadav is concerned is that he's not gotten too hype with what the chatter was about the pace.
Played all of 7 matches.
You
Yeah,
were the one who raised an
Yeah,
objection
yeah,
that
I agree.
he didn't go past 150.
Yeah.
Now, Umran Malik, compare the number of deliveries Umran Malik's bowled in IPL also and compare it to how much he, even Mayank Yadav's bowled. It's barely 1/4 if I'm not mistaken.
True.
Barely. That is why, hold your horses. You already got a lot of fast bowling options in Siraj, Shami, Bumrah,
Shami is
Akashdeep.
Boss, we don't even know what's the update on
Shami,
Shami.
yeah.
That's my main
The
point of
only
concern.
guy who can be an ICC to ICC bolter and not play anything in between is Mohammad Shami.
Shami, yeah.
He comes back after 1 year, he'll still have that bolt upright seam and then he can still generate that swinging pace.
Nitish Reddy is also there in the travelling reserves. You might want to see him also.
Now, I think with this myth,
He could play that Shardul role.
we don't know. Let's see.
But
what
at least
happens.
one thing is for sure that we are
Hardik
not
is
seeing
not.
Hardik Pandya in BGT.
He's not.
Your prediction's gone on.
No,
Yeah.
even you were part of this. I was the only one who said he's
I
not coming
said
back.
it would be great if you get him, but you're taking a risk.
No, I was the only one who was very sure that we are just reading too much into social
You
media.
might be too much. Yeah, Sarthak, let's take some comments. So, one fine innings, that's what Sarthak Arya is saying. One fine innings in a dead rubber against a dominant team like Bangladesh on such a difficult track. He's clearly been very sarcastic here, Sarthak Arya. And justice petition comes alive again. I agree with Sidji, Pant should still be the first choice. I mean,
He has to be.
he has to be. I mean, look, he is your X factor in a lot of ways. But yes, the numbers don't back him up in T20s. It doesn't. Be it IPL or be it this. But, boss, you have to at least understand that, look at the position where he's in. He can't be expected to have an average of 40 or 50 or get a strike rate of 180 or 190. He can't do that for the position that he's in.
Yeah.
So, it's a catch-22. Demon Slayer fan, why Abhishek Sharma has so much hype? He's IPL, he's still fresh in the IPL. But
He's
yeah,
an IPL kid, we can say that.
can, but then it's kind of like he's mentioned in a way, not in the context is quite not right at this point. Yeah, Abhishek, missed opportunity for him, and also Zimbabwe, barring that 100,
yeah.
it is a big thing at this point. Sarat Chandra, why all of you are in aura of Pant? Why weren't you the same as Surya didn't work in World Cup, being formats mixed there? What has Pant achieved in 76 team? Give me one T20 innings that Pant will be remembered for.
No, I was in favor of Surya then also for ODI cricket because I felt that he is that X factor in ODI cricket.
I mean,
It didn't work out that way, but
42 versus Pakistan in New York. on
But you know what?
difficult-
I do have to admit one thing. Those were also scratchy 42 runs.
But still,
Yeah,
runs
very
are
scratchy.
runs. Yeah, runs are runs.
Yeah,
Beat any
I
situation.
agree. See, it's the X factor of Pant that we sort of all are enamored by. That's number one. But I can speak for myself, and you guys can tell me if you agree or not. But I think Pant leaves me with a lot more to be desired from him.
Absolutely.
yeah, there's no doubt about that.
Sarat Chandra, forget about that. How can you forget on June 29th, it was his pivotal moment that won you that game. For that alone, 176 T20Is more.
You know, you can put such kind of situations in a very serious way also.
Exactly.
That's amazing ability that you have.
Sarat Chandra, for that 2 to 5 minute break that he took because of that knee injury, give Pant another 176 T20Is.
Rohit has described it very nicely.
Purported knee injury.
Purported knee injury, but it was a knee injury.
Rohit described it very nicely
It
on
was
a
a
show that he
genius
went
move.
recently.
It was a genius move.
See, one thing with Rishabh Pant we also have to look at. Yes, he hasn't got those, big 50s or those good, consistent 40-45 odds. But then in the T20 World Cup, let's not also forget that, he played a crucial knock in the semi-final also. The
Exactly.
2013. So I think in T20s, I think it's right time for us to, move past those 50s or 100s and look at the
Exactly.
contributions.
Certain people will always call Pant, oh, he's a very lucky player and all that things, but they just don't understand beyond one certain individual. That's the problem. People in this country just want to have one major knock. Oh, please tell one knock. I'll mention 3 major moments of Rishabh
See,
Pant.
a player of that caliber in Test cricket, he can run away with games in Test cricket. I, for no reason, can believe that he cannot be a match winner in T20.
True.
And if I can't believe it, I'm not even surprised that the selectors have the same thought
Look,
process for Rishabh Pant. as well.
T20I cricket, if you have to succeed, it is not easy. Virender Sehwag, a dasher,
in T20.
he was the biggest underachiever in T20I cricket. Look at all your stalwarts, they have all struggled. Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli, because the standard that they have maintained, they have been consistent. KL Rahul has not had success in T20s, despite being the first guy to get to 2 T20I centuries. After that, only Rohit Sharma came out. Dhoni, what are you talking about? The greatest ice school MS Dhoni never did well in T20Is. He was a good IPL player until 2019. But in T20Is, he was woeful. What are we talking about here? So that is why Gautam Gambhir, barring that one 2007.
Final.
Yeah, what was his record otherwise? Pretty average. So it
But
is.
see, I like what Rohit says, and I think Kohli's also said it at some point. Forget, that those 50s and 100s, those columns should be removed.
Yeah.
T20s is more about impact.
Strike
30s are as good as 50s, and 50s are as good as, let's say, 80s, 90s.
Okay. So Parth, if Surya after failing in 30 ODIs and World Cup was dropped, then why can't Pant be held to the same standards after 76 matches and 3 T20 World Cups? But Parth, in the case of Surya, you never won an ODI World Cup. In the case of Pant, you won the T20
And there were
World Cup.
people pushing Surya also in that sense.
Yeah.
Surya came in only after Hardik was ruled out of that World Cup.
And Parth, yet again,
And Pant again, he cannot be a push out of the team because of one century.
Surya was a good one format player. But Pant is a great test player, which I think is the toughest of them all.
Pretty decent in ODI.
Pretty decent ODIs. He's not good in T20Is. That is the one thing.
Yet to come to his own in T20Is.
I think it will be difficult for him now because see, he doesn't play that much of T20Is anyway.
Yeah.
So that is because of the scheduling that is there. So fit monk. Don't know why, but whenever Sanju does well, I feel very happy. Of course, you have every right to be happy, fit monk. On this auspicious festival of Dussehra, he played a knock to remember, and hopefully he won't look back now. Please, God be kind to him. Wow, he truly is religious.
Please,
at this
selectors
point.
be kind to him.
See, let selectors be kind to him.
Selectors are very kind to him, please.
Now he is. In the previous regime, I'm sorry, no.
Yeah.
Previous regime, they were absolutely unfair to Sanju Samson.
Absolutely.
Agreed.
I mean, if the amount of failures that Pant would have had in the previous regime, if you mention it by that benchmark, Sanju Samson should have very well been shouting out of the BCCI office, why am I not getting too many chances? So,
He had 2 years to cement his place.
He didn't. That is Pant's fault. I mean, that is Rishabh Pant. He had that 2-year layoff, but
you
that
have to
was
remember that
Sanju's
Sanju
fault.
Samson was always ahead of Pant to begin with.
Yeah.
Pant came into the system very late, way after Sanju Samson. So if Sanju Samson was such a great, I'm not taking anything away, he should have been a constant, and Rishabh Pant should have been the person playing the catch-up game, not Sanju Samson at this point.
Yeah, it was Sanju's fault that he didn't make it into the team. So,
But the only thing with that, Shashwat, is again the skill set. See, the moment that you're a keeper, then it just becomes a little more reason for you to then be adjusted in the 11.
But
Regardless
even
of how
Sanju
you,
is na.
regardless of how you are with, and then that left-handed ability. This Indian team has time and time again been looking out for left-handers.
Yeah.
You've been looking for a Yuvraj Singh like player for more than 15 years now. Okay, you need somebody in the middle order, you need someone like that. For the opener slot as well, okay, where is that left-hand combination? We've been struggling to find one since the time that the Gabbar and Rohit partnership broke, which is why all the hype around, let's say, Yashasvi, and it's coming from a good place. But again, it's these little things that go in favor at times.
I do agree to you. That's what I'm saying. I do agree that these little things do go in favor of the player, and they have gone in favor of Rishabh Pant. But the amount of time Sanju had to take that place, if he would have been a runaway till then, and Rishabh Pant had a very, see again, these differences can only play a part when the difference is 19-20. When the difference is so vast, then I don't think these factors come in. If Sanju would have been a cemented player in that team and these factors Rishabh Pant would have gotten in, then I don't think Rishabh Pant would have knocked him over in the side. Sanju Samson was always behind in that curve, so somebody came and overtook him, and that person who overtook him went on to become a great in Test cricket. If that is also too soon to say. So I think that went in favor of Rishabh Pant, and that is something that has gone because early on it was always that Sanju Samson is the next keeper after MS Dhoni, but he wasn't able to have that transition now. So that's why I think it's just Sanju to be blamed here.
So yeah, that is the case. But then we will celebrate perfect 10 for India, 10 straight clean sweeps.
Yeah.
And Test cricket will now resume in the next 3 days because 16th onwards, Bengaluru, India versus New Zealand. Short break now. Until then, let's enjoy the festivities. Yes, the 9-day festival has ended today. Also, the last few moments of Vijay Dashmi is going on. So enjoy, guys, and thank you so much for your company. We'll be back with more updates on sports today. Tap that bell icon so that when we go live, subscribe, show us our love. And from me, Shashwat, Harshit, and Sid Gulati, it is bye-bye. See you. Good night. Nandri, Vanakkam, Shabbak Khair. Eat your vegetables.
And don't trouble your mother.
And happy Vijay
What
Dashmi.
happened, Malla?
No, I
Bye-bye.
was just at the end.